So we got Fred, we got Paul, and both of you are participants, former participants of the CU121 mentoring program. Right. And Fred, you started getting mentored in the 4th grade, was it?
4th grade.
4th grade. And so what did you first think when you got paired with Paul? Be honest.
I was like, who was this guy? I mean, I didn't know what to think, but I mean, I wanted it though, because I talked to like a couple people, Mr. Uppenhouse at the time, and he was like telling me that's what I needed because I had a lot of energy. I was a hyper kid. I knew it was gonna be good, and after I met him, we sat down and talked. I just knew we was gonna take off from there.
Okay, so what school were you going to at this time?
I was on the south side.
Okay, and did you have any reference for the program before you participated in it? Did you hear about it? Did you have any friends who did it?
I didn't hear too much about it. Like I said, Mr. Uppenhouse, that's his name. He had told me like it was a mentor program going on. I should look into it. And like a couple weeks after that, he found me a mentor.
Okay,
so
cool. And you said it was he recommended it because, and this was an instructor of yours, a teacher at the school, and you said you recommended it because you were kind of just like a kid with a lot of energy.
Oh yeah, I was definitely a jumpy kid.
Okay,
I was definitely a jumpy kid.
A lot of energy.
For sure. I can relate to that, definitely.
I was definitely a jumpy kid.
And so you meet Paul. What was like your first day like? Did you instantly, and maybe Lauren, we have Lauren here too. Are you cool with talking on this?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And so, what is there like a feeling out process before the first official day of interaction, or like what's it like before the group meets, before the pair meets, the mentor and the mentee? Is there any type of process there?
There is a coordinator at every school, so that
Right.
coordinator interviews the prospective mentor, finds out what they're like, what type of kid they'd like to be matched with, and then they ideally have interviewed the prospective mentee too to find out their personality, what they're like, or they've had a teacher referral on the child. So then they try to make an appropriate match with the mentor and the mentee, but they have not met before. They don't meet before that initial meeting. So yeah.
Fred, do you remember the coordinator meeting with you and getting a feel for you?
Yeah, he pulled me in the room by the PE room.
That's right, the little tiny room.
Yeah, a little tiny room by the PE room, and he was talking to me like, I got you a mentor. I'm like, okay. And he was telling me when I was going to meet him. And we met in my 4th grade teaching class, actually.
That's right.
Okay, so Paul, what was it like for you first meeting Fred?
Well, it was, I had been prepped a little bit by the coordinator, and it was the fine lady before Cheryl Lehman took over. She was there 1 year, and then
Julie Healy.
That's right, Julie Healy. And she asked me a lot of questions of why you want to do this, why you want to get involved. I said, well, I feel like I should do something back to the school. Southside is a very interactive school. Parents really get involved and are helping kids tutor and teach and all kind of thing. I said, well, I'd like to do something. She goes, we have a mentoring program.
Okay.
I'll do that. So she asked me a lot of questions, and I said, I'm in, So she said, I got someone for you. And that's all I really knew going in before I met Fred, right? I just have this kid for you. He's ready. He's kind of...
Did they tell you he was hyperactive?
No, he didn't say that. Just goes, he's got a lot of energy.
Right. And is that something that you were looking for in a mentee? Were you thinking about that type of thing?
No, not like that. Just like any kid is fine.
Sure.
I figure a lot of kids, they run the gamut. Some are like Fred, really energetically out there. Some kids that clam up and don't say a word, right? Okay. So you don't know what you're going to get, but that's fine. You just want to help somebody.
All right. And Fred, did you have any expectations of what your mentor was going to be like?
He had to know how to play basketball.
That's
one thing. He had to know how to play some basketball.
Okay, cool. And Paul, did you play basketball?
Well, I did play basketball. I'm not near as good as Fred, but luckily I was bigger than him in 4th grade, so I could still beat him at that point.
So is that kind of what you would do when you would meet up? Was it because it's an hour a day or an hour a week during the school day, right?
Yeah,
right.
Okay, so
we did all type of stuff, man. I mean, I couldn't wait for the day to come. We built planes. He taught me how to play chess. We played all type of games.
All kinds of games. A lot of games. Yeah.
I mean, college games I never played before. I didn't even know how to play chess. I didn't know how to build no plane.
I've never heard of Mancala before.
Yeah, he taught me all that.
Okay.
Stuff, so.
Cool. So
playing basketball was what it really got turned on. So they didn't really have a basketball gym at Southside, just a cafeteria, and they had these little nets, plastic nets.
Oh, really?
And his big thing was he wanted just to dunk that ball like no other. So you'd always practice going for his dunk, right? Ever since I know you, I had to get that dunk.
So bad, I wanted.
That's hilarious. Okay, so you're learning all these games and stuff. How long were you two paired together? Was it all the way through high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the way through elementary, through middle, and high school.
Do you think that because you were hooked up with Paul that maybe you got into some things like, interests and found out about things that maybe you wouldn't have otherwise experienced?
Big difference, like, as far as helping me with school. Man, I read, I wasn't like, I was a hyper kid.
Yeah.
So I wasn't focused.
Sure.
But he made me focus. I read a lot of more books that I ever read in my life. And he made stuff better for me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So he helped me with a lot.
And Paul, was that kind of like your goal to kind of just like show new experiences, because a
actually
fourth
it
grader
was.
compared to you, and you know, you've just experienced a lot more, so you have just like a lot of things you can bring to the table.
Yeah, you don't want to put too much expectations, right? But you do want to say, look, I've been here and I want you to see a broader world. I say, like, Fred, where are you going to go on vacation? They'll go to Chicago. You had a lot of family in Chicago and stuff like that. So I'd go on a work trip, like to Nebraska or some installation. I send you postcards.
Every time. And we had like new goals. Like he'll come every time he came out the week. We had like a folder, a new stuff I accomplished. Like get a B in this class, or don't try to if you can't get a B, get a C. You know what I'm saying? And we just had that type of.
Well, first goals. It was like just stay in school.
Yeah,
Fred, focus that energy and just stay in school. And then it's like, okay, let's just get C's.
Yeah.
They started getting C's. Okay, can we go for B's and A's? Right?
I started getting that.
Yeah.
Paul, did you have a lot of interaction with kids? Did you have kids of your own before you?
Oh yeah, I have 2 kids of my own. Yeah.
Okay.
That's my 3rd kid now.
Okay, all right. Were your kids, were they around Fred's age?
Yeah, Ian's a couple years younger. He's a senior in high school now, so 3 years younger than Fred. And then my daughter Liza is 2 years younger than him.
Did you anticipate that you would be doing things like helping Fred set these goals, to stay in school, and then like things for specific classes? How did that come about?
I think that's part of the mentoring program. They stress that you make objectives and goals. So you have kind of a plan, you have kind of something to work toward. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't come right away. I think initially you just want to just kind of hang out, get to know each other, right?
Yeah.
Trust each other. Then you can open up and talk more concrete about things you want to do in life.
Right.
I think every mentor pair is probably a little different anyhow.
Sure.
Depending on who's doing it and what the kid is like.
Definitely, yeah.
For Fred, it was focusing energy. This guy's got a ton of energy.
Right.
It's like just focus in a positive way, and then set a goal that he can just use that to shoot for.
And so, Fred, how did it feel to have someone there to help you focus this energy? How did it feel to have a mentor?
Like I said, it feel real good because, man, Paul been there with me through ups and downs. Man, he never left my side. I'm talking about I've been through some crazy stuff, and Paul has never left. So he made a big impact on my life. Man, he like a dad/brother. Mm-hmm. I don't know what I'd do without him, man. Cause
you told me that one time before.
Yeah, so man, I don't know. I'm telling you, man. He's been there through some tough times. Like I've been doubted a lot.
Yeah, but I got to say, one thing I always appreciate about Fred is that he never gives up. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's been down and has some downfalls, but a lot of upfalls too, or things that are going well for him, but he's never given up. Yeah, he always had a goal for himself just to keep succeeding. So
and he's been helping me through all them goals. And it has never
take care of that knee.
Yeah.
Right?
and yeah, he helped me with my knee. Like, I'm a dunker.
Yeah.
Like he told us, I've been trying to do that all my life. And like, he just give me tips, and I've been using those tips, and I've been feeling better. Like, he just helped me with everything. I don't know what I'd do without him, man.
And so, Fred, now you're in college, you're playing basketball. Paul, I wonder, how does it feel to have been a mentor? And it seems like you've done a really, a well job. Not to take any credit away from Fred, you did it all yourself.
He did all
but having Paul
hung out
there, being a mentor, what was that whole experience like for you now that it's, somewhat over, although you still have this relationship?
Well, it's very rewarding. I think early on, you just want to, like I say, help out and do some good and maybe help a kid achieve something. And then when you go through it, it's like you have another kid.
Yeah.
And you see him go from 4th grade right into college. It's, a sense of achievement.
So now that you're in college, you're having this whole college experience. What have you learned, and what advice would you give maybe some people who are mentees right now, who are maybe junior high, high school?
Take your mentor serious, first of all.
Okay.
If you get a mentor, it's gonna help. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Take it and go with it. As far as school, stay focused. Like I said, set goals. First, stay in school, then get this, then get that, and don't fall behind, because that's where I messed up at.
Right.
I fell behind, but I caught back up because I didn't give up and never give up. So,
Didn't give up.
yeah.
And you say take your mentor serious. Were there times where you were like, I don't want to meet with Paul today, like,
Man.
maybe you're just over it or something like that?
Me personally,
Yeah.
I couldn't wait for that day.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't wait for that day after week.
Uh-huh.
In days he'll be like, he'll call me like, I go to Miss Maji's room, she'll be like, Paul called, he said he won't make it today. Or he'll tell me the day we meet, like, I won't make it the next week. But next week come, I'll be like, I gotta meet Paul. but I forgot, I'll be like, Miss Maji will remind me like, he's not coming there. I'll be like, oh man.
Oh, man.
Because I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I never had a day that I didn't want to meet.
And you were talking about the scholarship fund. So I guess CU one-to-one mentoring, and there's also a scholarship fund for students who attend college, after being a part of the program. So how has that helped you out?
Helped me a lot. I didn't have to pay. The CU scholarship fund helped me pay every semester. So I didn't have to come out of pocket. I didn't have to take no loans out because of the scholarship fund.
Mm-hmm.
And Lauren, was that like an ambition of the program from the beginning to have the scholarship fund to, because I think that you have the mentor through high school, but then after high school, it's really cool that the program is still with you in the form of this scholarship. Was that always the intention?
Right. It wasn't, the program's, this is the 24th year now, so it wasn't at the very beginning, but it was shortly after that that Barbara Linder, who started the program over at Urbana Middle School, decided that a scholarship would be something great that we could offer the kids. And she got a group of people together, and they thought, oh, there's no way we can raise this kind of money, and they did, and it was remarkable. We started the scholarship just at $500, a one-time scholarship, and we've raised it over the years, and now every student that graduates that's been in the program for at least 3 years is eligible for $4,000.
That is awesome.
And it's spread out over 6 semesters, so it's spread out through their junior year.
Uh-huh.
But we have a lot of very giving people in the community that donate to this scholarship regularly.
Paul, what would you tell someone who is thinking about mentoring but was worried about the time commitment? Because, like Fred was saying, he was really looking forward to meeting with you each week. I'm sure that's a lot of pressure to be there.
Well, with my schedule, it's sort of crazy. I'm flexible, but sometimes I'm not flexible. I travel.
Yeah.
So if you travel a lot, I try to pick another day during the week to meet. Or we had a punt to the next week. Sometimes that happened, but I try to let them know all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I found out 1 hour a week wasn't that bad, really.
Yeah.
I mean, here this town is pretty small. You can get to school in 15 minutes and back. So it's really an hour and a half.
Right.
And knowing what it does for someone,
it wasn't a big deal.
No, I don't think it's a big deal. A lot of people think it's like, oh, I can't get off from work. But you find out it's really not that hard. And you usually can pick a period that's kind of flexible anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
I think early on we met, not so much lunch hour, but
it was like
maybe like a PE hour kind of thing.
Yeah, I tried to stretch it every time though.
I know.
One last game.
We gotta get back. But in high school, it's always the lunch hour. So they don't really miss anything. It's kind of your lunch hour as well. So it's not hard to get out. So I would definitely encourage somebody. Now, don't worry about that hour commitment. It's much more
it's easier than
beneficial
you think to find the time
Yeah.
for just an hour a day or an hour a week.
Yeah.
And Fred, statistics show that students with a mentor are 52% less likely to skip a day of school. Was that true for you? Did having Paul there kind of, did it motivate you? In what way, if it did help you to stop skipping or not skip school, in what way did it do that?
I mean, he was always on me.
Okay.
About school, man. That's nonstop. That was the first thing when we met. School, and then this, and then basketball, because I couldn't play basketball unless I
in school.
was in school.
Yeah.
And he would tell me that, like, Fred, you want to play basketball, right? Oh, I'm coming to school now. I don't want to play. I'm coming to school. So that was just that. It was straightforward. Just take care of this business, then you take care of that, then better things will come.
And so you think that having Paul, that having a mentor kind of kept you on track for staying focused on school and getting to college?
Yeah, most definitely. Because after I seen what he was doing with me, I wanted to do it. I started off in 8th grade.
That's right.
So I mentored a 6th grader in the 8th grade.
Oh, wow.
So, you know what I'm saying? I liked that type of stuff. After I seen what he did for me, I can do for it. And then to this day, I still see the kid that I mentor, and he looks up to me now. His name is Josh, matter of fact.
Is that right?
Josh, yeah. I
Yeah,
still
okay.
see him to this day.
So, Fred, what's your favorite thing about Paul?
First of all, he's never left my side.
Yeah.
I just like him because he's been there for me, man. He ain't never, you know what I'm saying, let me down. Do nothing. If I couldn't count on nobody, I can count on Paul.
Paul, what about you? What's your favorite thing about Fred?
I would say that he's a very generous person. Yeah. So when we first got together in Southside, Fred knew everybody in that school, from the principal right down, I don't know, the custodian, right?
Yeah.
Every kid in every class. So that's how he was. He was always a very people kind of person, right? And I think he got a very generous heart. So I think that's a pretty cool thing.
And Fred, he always talks about, you know, how you being there, how you pushing him, how you keeping him focused, you know, helped him out so much.
Yeah.
How did that help you? Did that motivate you in your life, seeing Fred, you know, like, you know, stay on track, maybe have some hiccups, but staying on there? Like, what did that mean to you, and to just like experience that with Fred and through Fred?
Well, I think it was frustrating at times. You sort of think, oh, he's just going to do things right off the bat and make perfect, and kids aren't, right?
Yeah.
And so I think you got to recognize that. Heck, my own kids aren't perfect, right?
Yeah.
I mean, kids make mistakes, and I think it reinforces that, you know, kids they can make mistakes, but they're not doing it intentionally. They're not trying to harm themselves. They're just doing it because they're kids.
Yeah.
So when you see that, you're like, okay, no problem. We'll see you next time. It's not going to work out.
Yeah.
And I think that's a huge point, is that you have to let people make their own mistakes. You're not there to correct them or all that. But what Fred said is that Paul stuck with him through thick and thin, no matter what.
I made my mistakes, and he just told me right from wrong, you know, like told me make a better decision next time. But I made my mistakes, and he never downed me for that mistake. We moved on to the next. That's in the past. You did that, okay. Let's see what we can do to not let that happen again or make it better.
Wow.
So every year I improve, like, as far as with teachers. I used to help this computer lab lady out. Her name was Miss Jacob.
Yeah.
At first 6th grade year, we was bumping heads, man. 7th grade year, we was still bumping heads a little bit, but it got better. 8th grade year, it just was getting better and better. And next thing you know, I got a job because of her. I started working for Peter Fox my 8th grade year.
Wow.
So I was working for Fox Development Corporation, landscaping.
That's right.
And I've been with Peter Fox ever since the 8th grade.
So you got a job at the I
And
Hotel.
I worked at the I Hotel because of that, like,
Yeah.
big connection, you know what I'm saying, because
Right.
that type of stuff. So, I mean, and
So having Paul as a mentor kind of like opened up your network towards the community?
a lot. And then, like, say if he'll come and meet me one day, Miss Majo, like, Fred got in trouble today, or Fred did this today.
Yeah.
And I'll be so mad. They'll let me out the ISS room or something, and I still come out. So I'm so mad.
Right.
I'll do something else just to get in trouble.
Sure.
Because I didn't care to go back in.
Yeah.
But I seen him, and it just changed me. I don't want to be mad no more. I don't want to get in trouble no more.
And that's really one of the things that stands out most to me, is that, you know, when I was in school, you know, from my parents to the teachers, every adult I was interacting with, they wanted things from me. They were telling me to do things, but it didn't seem like they really, you know, were there for me or about me, even if they were. You know, just like my perception as an elementary school and high schooler just wasn't. So did it mean a lot to have someone there who was just like there for you?
Oh, yeah, man, I'm telling you, I trust Paul with everything, you know what I'm saying? Because I know he's there for me. And like I said, I do stuff like, man, anything just to get in trouble.
Yeah.
But if I know he's coming,
Right.
I ain't getting in trouble.
Right.
And our goal that week was, all right, next week I'm going to come by. Like you're in school the whole time, right?
Yeah, I don't want
Not in the sad room.
I don't want to see you in the sad room. Because I knew if I got in trouble, I'd be like, okay, he's going to come. I'm going to get pulled out.
Right.
But I knew I was going right back in. I was going to do something.
Yeah.
I didn't care if I went in the next day. But
Right.
after I seen him, I went in there. I wrote my 3 pages of what I had to do,
right.
and got out of there, and didn't get in trouble for the rest of the day.
Right.
All because I seen Paul. You know what I'm
Right. He helped you get focused.
saying? Yeah. So
Did it take a while to develop that trust Was it there instantaneously, or did it take a year or two of?
I don't think it took a year or two,
Okay.
but it
takes a while to kind of get used to somebody, right?
I say after a couple months, I started to get used to him, and man, we clicked instantly. So, I don't know what I'll do without him. I don't know. So
that's so awesome, because last year I spoke with Lauren, but I didn't actually hear from any mentors or mentees. Since then, I find out that some of my friends are mentors in the program, and everyone I've talked to, it seems like this. It seems like, the mentee is just so appreciative of the mentor, and vice versa.
Oh,
It's like 100%. It's going both ways. It's you're volunteering, but you're also getting a lot out of just hanging out with Fred, and being with Fred, and experiencing Fred's experiences.
Even if Fred wasn't a great guy, and he is a great guy, I think it's a rewarding experience. You haven't gone through it, right? To see someone go from fourth grade to college is like, that's so cool to see someone grow up, become a kid into a man, right?
yeah,
But, Fred's an extra special guy, so
Right.
even more fun for me.
yeah. So you see, like I was saying, we set those goals like get this, stay in school, get a C, get a B. I got an A, and I went to college. I made the dean's list. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
So,
And you kind of defied some expectations people had. You used to have kind of there's kind of a what people know about you before you get to the room.
Yeah.
And we were trying to work on making that a positive one rather than a negative one, right?
Because at first it was all we know Fred, he had to do that or type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like they knew me. So if I did something, or even if I didn't do it,
right.
it sounded like Fred to do it.
Right. It's like, Fred, you go,
oh, it's Fred again. So we worked on changing that, and it got better every year. So.
That's so cool. And you're in college now. You're not technically part of the program, but you're here doing this interview with me. It seems like you're still very connected to the program.
Oh, definitely.
And so, is there a reason for that?
I don't want to ever lose contact with Paul.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So even when I come home, we can meet. We still go out and have lunch and talk about, how is school going and all that. So, like I said, I don't want to ever lose contact with him.
And Paul,
forever, man.
Yeah, it's
forever. Like I said, man, I want to know who you marry. I want to know your kids' names.
He got into it. He can't get out, man. It's stuff forever.
That's cool. So it definitely sounds like both of you would recommend the program.
Yeah,
most
heartily for sure.
Yeah, most definitely.
It's a very rewarding program.
Yeah, it definitely helped you.
Awesome. Well, Fred,
and it's grown a lot. Maybe you want to see how much it's grown. When I first started, it was a lot
yeah.
smaller. Now it's so big we can't even fit everybody in the ballroom anymore.
It's actually like, man, it's three of us that I got a buddy named Jermaine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's in the program.
Okay.
We went to the same college.
Yeah.
And did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Brian.
And Brian too.
Did the same thing, and then me.
Yeah.
We all three of us went to the same college. We went to Robert Morris first.
Mm-hmm.
Made the dean's list.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And the scholarship, it helped Brian a lot. It paid Brian's off. Like, Brian owes, I think he owed it $9. He owed it nothing.
Oh, man,
So-
that sounds nice.
Jermaine owed it not too much. I filled out my financial aid a little late, so I owed it a little more, but the scholarship money helped me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
for sure.
Yeah. And the program really has grown.
Yeah.
When it started 24 years ago, it was just a handful of mentors that started at Urbana Middle School and at Bottenfield in Champaign. And over the years, we've added mentor coordinators to every school, so we've got more people recruiting, and we have about 650 mentors between Champaign and Urbana right now, but we always have kids on the waiting list.
Right.
So we always are looking for more mentors, particularly male mentors. We tend to get more female mentors apply. We can use both, but we have a particular need for male mentors. So
Interesting. Okay.
I remember our first banquet, we was in like, it wasn't many of us, probably like 30 of us in one little ballroom.
It was
with
downtown
balloons.
in that building right off of, I must say, State.
Yeah.
right, it's a church.
And it just got bigger and
Uh-huh.
bigger. Then the next one was the magic show.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I remember everything. So.
I mean,
That was
you've
the guy
been
from
in
Dallas
program
that
for a while, so
Yeah.
you've seen it grown yourself.
Yeah, I definitely. It started off. We was in a little bitty ballroom, popping balloons or something like that, doing something. Then the next one was it got like more people with the magic show.
Yep.
And this has got bigger, and now I don't know how many people in there.
Awesome. It's
Yeah.
continuing to grow.
It is, yeah. And at our high school banquet that Fred was mentioning, we now hold it at Hilton Garden Inn, and we usually have over 500 people
Yeah.
attend that.
It's people filling every table
Yeah.
and most seats to come. So,
Well, that's great because it just sounds like such a positive thing for the community, and it sounds like it's one of those things with a ripple effect, where you were talking about how you have 3 friends involved with it, and you're getting positive influence from Paul, and then you can spread that to your friend group.
Yeah.
And, it just sounds like
we
such a
actually
great
used to
thing.
hang out sometimes. Me, Jermaine, we played basketball a couple times together.
Yeah.
Brian,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, we always interacted. You know what I'm saying?
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you both so much for coming down, for helping spread the word about this program. I'm excited to use WEFT and this platform here to talk about this stuff. And I just really appreciate both of your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Cool. That's it. Bam.
Thank you, guys.